Hi, this is your best friend. I'm back with some gameplay of Ultra Necrozma. I played a best of 3 against TrainerChip on his Twitch channel a few weeks ago, and I thought that the games were really good. We both played pretty well, and both of our decks worked very well, ran very well, so I thought it would be a good chance to show off some gameplay in the expanded format post-bans. I think that expanded is actually in a really great place post-bans, and I would encourage more people to give it a try. I'm using the exact same list that I uploaded to this channel previously for these games. I would say that moving forward, I would recommend dropping the Psychic Mimikyu, since Mewtwo is both not very common and is actually a pretty easy matchup even without the Mimikyu. So I would drop that for another counter energy attacker like the Nihilego or the Keldeo, since there are a lot of fire attackers on the ladder. And I would also drop the Guzma and Hala for a Teammates. Teammates generally is able to accomplish the same job as Guzma and Hala without the painful discard, and it's just more versatile in general. And you generally don't have to worry about the effect of Teammates of having to have a Pokemon knocked out, since with such squishy Pokemon on your side, that's pretty much always going to be fulfilled. So those are the changes I would make, but yeah, this is the list I used against Chip in these games, and I hope that you enjoy. So getting into our first game here against TrainerChip with Ultra Necrozma, we go ahead and win the flip. Big advantage for us since Expanded is really heavily based, especially this deck, around getting to go second. So we get a good starting hand here. We have Ultra Necrozma. We have a level ball that can find us a Remoraid and Evolve into Octillery. It looks like Chip is playing, not Night March, the Mad Party, that's what it is. And he does get an Ultra Ball off the Trainer's Mail. Good start for him. So this is definitely going to be a one-prize race deck. Neither of us should have any problems getting one-hit knockouts against each other, so it will just be up to whose deck can keep it going for 6 turns in a row. I'm going to hopefully rely on using things like N plus Silent Lab to try to get him out of the game, or just take the first knockout like I can in this game, and yeah, hopefully go from there. We will throw the Silent Lab in play, and Juniper, hoping to find the Double Dragon energy, and we actually do miss it, unfortunately. So, going to be starting off behind in this one. We do get double Remoraid, double Necrozma out, at least. And hopefully our Silent Lab can at least slow Chip down a little bit here, since we did miss that first attack, and we will pass it on over. Okay, he immediately has the bump with the Parallel City and another Ultra Ball. Probably going to grab a Crobat or a Dedenne here. Okay, and he does grab the Crobat, which we can't one-hit KO. Just a bit of a shame, but we will see. Maybe he's forced to put down a Dedenne later. Quick Ball. He does have to find a way to retreat this active Dedenne, which can be as simple as attaching an energy to it, but that does waste an energy. So we'll see how that goes. He's able to start discarding the little Dedennes very efficiently and discard a Mr. Rhyme, so having no problems ramping up here, and at this point I'm pretty sure he is in knockout range. He's able to get a nice 3-card Instruct in, and he does Dedenne there, so that does give us a 2-prizer that we can one-shot, and probably puts us right back in the game. I guess he needed to find a way to try to retreat there. Here I'm just commenting how here on his first turn he is only just now playing a Juniper, and he has gone through 3/4 of his deck just in the first turn. Expanded is still a very fast-paced format, even without Shaymini X in it. Alright, so Chip does take the first knockout here. It will be up to us to manage to both take a knockout every turn from here on out, as well as disrupt him enough to try to stop him, or take the lead with that Dedenne knockout. So we'll go ahead and Field Blow away his Parallel and Juniper. And we do find the Double Dragon and the computer search to get us into the stadium card, as well as a level ball to get us an artillery. Trying to decide what order I want to play this in, we'll go ahead and get the artillery first. And we'll play the computer search just so we get more draws. Kind of awkward discards, but it's definitely worth it. We need to get drawing lots of cards here. So we'll throw out the stadium and Abyssal Hand for 4. We find another floatstone, a stretcher. We'll go ahead and stretcher to get back a artillery for second Abyssal Hand draws. Attach the floatstone, no real worry about field blow or anything like that. I highly doubt Chip plays that in his deck. We will go ahead and retreat and Luster of Downfall. Pull out Mimikyu, that's not going to be too useful. Right, we see Chip bench the Sinisty, so he is actually playing the Stage 1 Teapot for the extra draw. Makes sense, with no longer having Shaman. His deck does need lots of draw and protection from ends. He's going to play the teammates that should get him everything he needs. The energy and a... Not sure what else he would grab here. Probably just a follow-up supporter, a VS Seeker, another energy. He does have a dowsing machine here to grab special charge. Again, all he needs to make sure at this point is that he keeps finding energy and attackers. So, it makes sense to shuffle those back in. And we see the Mad Party Knockout. Remote Artillery. Can go ahead and Ultra Ball away that Mimikyu since it's useful to us, and the Juniper. Don't want to Juniper away all these VS Seekers. And we actually have no more Necrozmas in deck. I didn't realize I had been going through those so fast, and I think one is prized. So we also want to try to find our stretcher this turn. So we'll go ahead and Marnie, put these cards on the bottom of our deck for later. And we find our town map. So we can use that to dig out the lost Ultra Necrozma. And we also have a Silent Lab and an Energy Prized. Unfortunate. We'll go ahead and Ultra Ball here just to thin down our hand for artillery draws, since we do really need to hit that energy. We don't hit it here, but we do hit Battle Compressor to thin the deck. We'll go ahead and get rid of Pseudo. Since there's nothing useful to copy, get rid of Ranger, don't need that, and just get rid of the Nest Ball, since again, no need to find anything. Benchmark Shadow for draws, and artillery again, and we do find the energy after all of that digging. So we will go ahead and Luster here. Definitely take the Ultra Necrozma off of the prizes here. Thinking it over, but I mean, we do have the Guzma and Hala in hand to find the follow-up energy. So Ultra Necrozma is definitely the right choice here. And Chip is going to go ahead and T-break. So he has both his attacker and draw. Although he is putting his draw engine in the line of fire here, so he must be out of Bunnelbees for the moment. So if we can take out this T-break, he may be in a spot where he has some trouble getting an attack off next turn. We do top deck special charge. That's a very useful one. Make sure that we can keep finding those double dragons. And I kind of want to keep this Great Catcher in hand, since we can use it to pick off the Dedenne and N. So here I will Abyssal Hand, trying to find another card to discard with the Guzman Hala. Don't want to discard that Stretcher though. We'll use that to shuffle back in some Ultra Necrozmas to make sure that we can keep going throughout the game. And again, just want to find something to discard with the Guzman Hala. And we can discard one Ultra Necrozma, we only need 3, and we shuffled 3 back in, and there's already one on the board, so we'll just discard that. Pull out the useless Floatstone and put that on the Mershadow. Attach the Double Dragon and go ahead and take the knockout. So we'll see if Chip can manage to find his way into a Bunnelby this turn. Trying to decide what to take here. Go ahead and take the Double Dragon since there's already a Silent Lab in play. Promotes that free retreating Oranguru. He's going to Battle Compressor here, so that does thin his deck. Makes it easier for him to find that Bunnelby. And he does have the Ultra Ball, so he's got the Bunnelby. Just needs to also find the energy attachment. Alright. And he does manage to find it, although it leaves him with a 0-card hand. So he is living off of the top deck here. Yeah. Do you want to play? You want to play? Okay, bye. Looking through here, trying to decide how I want to play out this turn. I want to try to make sure I draw into the Ultra Necrozma here. Kind of a weird hand. I'm going to start with just an Abyssal. We run into another Double Dragon, and here I think I will just play the Great Catcher, and I don't think we really need these Versus Seekers anymore, since Octillery can draw us into our whole deck. So, play it again, and we'll go ahead and we will KO this Dedenne, and then from there, with no 2 prizers on the board, I think that we are set for this game. He'll knock out the active, and then from there, I don't think that there's really anything that, you know, he can do to stop us from taking the KO here. We have Ultra Ball and Nest Ball to find our own Ultra Necrozma, as well as Octillery to draw our whole deck, and yep. So yeah, good first game. Both decks running very fast, drawing through their whole decks pretty much by the end of it. And here I'm just trying to explain my bit of an odd play. Not sure if that was the best course of action to go around it, but fortunately with the double Octillery draws and the Great Catcher, we had a lot of different options there, and they all felt like very strong ones. So and here we will go ahead and Luster of Downfall and take game 1. So that was a close but strong performance from Ultra Necrozma in game 1. We will see how it goes for game 2 next. So here we go, getting into our second game. Me up 1-0 against Chip. Pretty good start here. We have the town map right off the bat. Always feels nice when you get to play the town map before any prize is taken. Busted town map. Then we also have a Nest Ball and Level Ball, so we can go ahead and play the Nest Ball to go ahead and get the Ultra Necrozma back up, as well as a Level Ball for Remoraid to get some Octillery draws in, because otherwise this hand is not going anywhere. So we do have a energy card prized, as well as our N. So good things to take note of. We'll go ahead and pass it over to Chip, once again starting with the baby Dedenne, which is good for us. Means that he probably won't be attacking this turn. He needs to find a Float Stone to do so, or a Guzma. He does get Bunnelby energy right off of the start there, and a Battle Compressor, so right away it looks like Chip is not going to have any trouble. Oh, a second Battle Compressor, so right there without even having to play a supporter, he has the turn 1 knockout. And a Juniper to follow up, so tremendously strong start from Chip there. Aside from the starting that did any, of course, but can't have a perfect start. Drops down another bunny. Trainer's Mail, looking for, I'd imagine, that Float Stone. Finds a VS Seeker, can't play that this turn. So, let's see if he can move the Dedenne. long pause here, so I don't think he has the float stone, and yeah, he's just going to pass it on over. And we top deck the computer search, actually, so we will get the first attack in here. Go ahead and evolve the Octillery. Thinking about if I want to throw down the Silent Lab before the Octillery draw. And here I actually make a mistake. I could Guzma and knock out the benched Bunnelby with the energy, but somehow I get it in my head that the Ultra Necrozma that's active is the only one that can attack, and I need a Float Stone to Guzma into the Octillery to get the knockout, when in reality I can just Guzma into the other Ultra Necrozma. Not sure where that idea came from. Sometimes you just tunnel vision on a particular play, so minor mistake here, but I am able to do the computer search to get the Double Dragon and just take the knockout on the active. And Octillery for 5. Get the early Battle Compressor here so we can go ahead and discard our counter energy attackers since they are useless, as well as our Ranger. Floatstone the Octo, and considering if I want to play Lovable here for another Rim Raid, but I remember that we looked earlier and we don't have it, so I'll go ahead and just take the knockout on active. Wondering what to take off of prizes, and I'll go ahead and take the Special Energy follow-up for next turn. And right off the bat here, Chip has the Guzma on our Artillery, as well as the energy for the Bunnelby. What did Octodad ever do to you, Chip? Why do you have to go after that poor, defenseless Octillery? Alright, we will go ahead and throw up the Ultra Necrozma. Fortunately, it looks like Chip only plays one Stadium and no Field Blower, so once we get that Silent Lab in play, it is in play forever, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out the Octillery with the Level Ball and stretch it back the Ram Raid. We definitely want to keep that Octillery online, and we will take the knockout here. He will respond in turn, so let's see, however, if he can get his big teapot out, and if he can keep drawing cards without the aid of a support Pokemon, which he can't play at the moment because of the Silent Lab in play. See another Battle Compressor thinning out his deck. One big advantage, of course, of the Mad Party deck is that since you are throwing so many cards into the bin with Battle Compressor early on, your deck becomes quite thin, so it's easy to find what you need to. Chip, of course, taking his time here, trying to find the most useless cards, and yeah, we do see Dedenne hit the trash bin there. Probably not ever going to get the chance to play it with the Silent Lab in play. Alright. Now, you rooting for me or Trainer Chip? And Chip does end us here. And we do find Guzma and Hala, fortunately, although we do lose our Octillery. Chip working hard here to make sure we don't get that Octillery up. And we see another Quick Ball. So this can find him another bunny for the next turn. And we just see the Mad Party here. So no big teapot. Hopefully means that we can get him stuck here. I would say with an N, but it looks like we would only be inning him from 4 to 4. But we'll go ahead and play the N anyway. We really do want to find our Octillery, and we find it, along with the Floatstone to make sure it can't get stuck. And I don't think we will have any problem with energy this game, since we'll go ahead and shuffle back in a counter and a Double Dragon here. So we'll just attach the counter to Octillery to draw some more with Abyssal Hand. Who knows, maybe we can hug a Bunnelby at some point. That would be a play you don't see too often. And we do find double Nestball to get all of our Ultra Necrozmas down. And we'll go ahead and Luster. Just take VS Seeker off of the prizes to best protect against an N from Chip. And we do see him evolve into the Teapot here, so he can get some draw going. And he does have a Versus Seeker. Okay, so I'd imagine this is going to be... Oh, he actually pulls out the Guzma, so he has twice this game gone after our Octillery, and that is definitely a headache for us. Although he is going down to 1 card in hand plus the top deck and prize, but yeah, Octo does not get to stay up this game. So, but on the other hand, maybe if we knock out this Bunnelby, he won't have a way to attack next turn. Here I am considering playing the Guzma to hit the Teapot. Oh yeah, I was actually trying to go for the Guzma Hala, but I forgot that I had not discarded it. I thought I had played it earlier, so we'll just go ahead and grab the Guzma. And we'll take out the Teapot, make it look like we had planned this route all along. It is important. I'm trying to take out his draw here in the hopes that his small hand there isn't going to be worth anything. And hopefully KOing this bunny on the next turn will leave him without any final attacker in the game. Bit of a long pause here from Chip, thinking over his options. Okay. So he does play the Stretcher. Let's see what he grabs with that. Okay, and he's just going to shuffle back in. So, looks like he wants to make sure he has enough bunnies to close the game out. Ooh, and he does have the VS Seeker for Juniper. So it looks like our play to go after the Teapot was maybe not the best choice. But based on the information that we had, I think that was probably a smart play. Okay, he does bump our Silent Lab here with Parallel. Not that it matters a whole lot at this point, since Chip goes down to 2 prizes, we don't need the Stadium to attack anymore. And we don't really need the bench space at this point, so we'll just go ahead and Juniper. We do find the energy straight away. And here I'm just thinking about thinning my hand for a possible N. And I do make a mistake here. I could Ultra Ball and thin the Nest Ball and Guzman Hollow, which I almost do here. But for some reason, I find myself thinking that Guzman Hala isn't out after the end to Special Energy, without realizing that in order to get the Special Energy off of Guzman Hala, you also need to discard 2 other cards. So if I'm being N to 1 and I get the Guzman Hala, it is not actually an out to Double Dragon. But I missed that here, and while I almost make the correct play and Ultra Ball away the Nest Ball and Guzman Hala, I keep the Guzman Hala and just Nest Ball out. He Mimikyu, Retreat, and Luster of Downfall. Take the Remoraid off the prize, doesn't matter. Then let's see if Chip has what he needs to close out the game. He definitely needs to end us here, since we have Guzman Hala for our last energy in hand. And he evolves into another Teapot, and he can discard that Bunnelby he just grabbed. Oh, and he has the Crobat here, so digging deep to try and find that N. He finds the energy. Floatstone. T breaks away the bunny. Let's see if he finds it. He's got a trainer's mail for it. And he does get the dowsing machine, which can find VS Seeker or N. Here we will see he's going to Special Charge and some energy cards, and here we go. Let's see what we draw off of the N. Shuffle in, draw 1, and it is the Guzma and Hala. So My mistake there definitely came back to bite me in the end. I mean, who knows if I hadn't if I had discarded the Guzman Hollow, maybe I wouldn't have drawn something useful, maybe I would have, but that is definitely my mistake, and I did throw the game a little bit here. And here we'll just play out the cards we have, show that we didn't quite get it, and the end to one stuck. And we will elect to go second in Game 3. So here we go, getting into Game 3 with Chip 1-1. See which one prizer will take home the W here. I do have the advantage here going second, although it is a bit of an awkward hand. We do have the Battle Compressor to start out with, as well as the Professor Juniper, so definitely not a bad hand, although we will be ditching a Juniper and a Guzma early, which is a bit of a shame, but could definitely be worse. Chip has a good start, putting down 2 bunnies and a Guru. Make sure that he's got that backup draw there, as well as a Compressor to start out with, which I'd imagine will just be throwing 3 Rhymes or Dedenes into the discard pile. Perhaps a Supporter if he needs to use it with a VS Seeker on his next turn. And here I'm just half venting, half explaining to Chip and chat how I made that mistake with the Guzman Hollow, and somewhat through that game too. So he does get the energy on the backup Dedenne. We top deck a Counter Catcher, bit of an unfortunate top deck that we don't want to discard, but what can you do? And we will go ahead and ditch our counterattackers and Juniper. And we do not find our double dragon here, so unfortunately we will not be taking the first knockout of this series. Debating here if I want to put the Silent Lab in play to try to slow down Chip. And we know he only plays the 1 counter stadium. With a 3-card hand, I think I would rather take away his outs to Dedenne and such. And even if he does bump it, we know that the follow-up one will stick in play for the rest of the game, so no real reason not to throw it out there. He does have a follow-up Compressor. I'm assuming he has VS Seeker in hand since he did get rid of Juniper last turn. And yeah, he just throws 3 useless Mad Partiers into the discard pile. Quick balls away a Stretcher for a Dedenne. And here we go. And, oh, he does not actually have the VS Seeker. He's going to Trainer's Mail. Big Trainer's Mail. And he finds the VS Seeker off of the Trainer's Mail. And that is a you have a good deck moment if I've ever seen one. Here he is, of course, looking for one of his energies to attack with the active. And he finds it. Also puts down the Mew. I don't think we've seen that yet in this series. The Mew is shut off by the Silent Lab, so it's a little interesting that he chose to put it in play. But it does mean that he doesn't have to find 6 bunnies, and considering we saw him get rid of a Rescue Stretcher already, isn't the worst thing. We'll go ahead and attach the counter energy to the Ultra Necrozma, now that that's live. Stretcher back in our other one that just went down, so that we have a backup Pokemon. And thinking about if I want to N here, I know Ns are going to be very important to try to keep Chip out of the game, but I don't really have a whole lot of other options. We really need to draw some cards here. And we will use our computer search as a fancy Ultra Ball here and just grab a Remoraid for next turn to evolve into the Octillery. And we will Luster Downfall the active bunny. get a field blower off of prizes. That's not going to be very useful. Sends Mew up since it does have that free retreat. I guess that's why he benched it. Quick balls away the Dedenne GX for a Marshadow. I'd imagine that means he has another quick ball. Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and quick ball away that Marshadow and grab a Bunnelby here. Going to T-Break away a Mr. Rhyme. Floatstone is Monkey and another Juniper. So Chip's deck is running very well. All the way down to a quarter of his deck left at this point, and another Battle Compressor. Our ability to end him out of the game is looking slim at this point, since he's going to be able to thin all of the bad cards out of his deck. See an Ultra Ball for another Poltergeist, that's what it's called. Retreat and Mad Party. So he did not find a backup energy that turn, so maybe if we knock out this active Bunnelby, we can get him stuck for a turn. Attach the active, and we'll go ahead and end him down from 5 to 4. And from this point in the game, we will pretty much be looking to end him every single turn and just hope one of them sticks. Can't really do much more than that. We'll go ahead and level ball for another raid. If we're going to be ending every turn, we definitely need to try to get both auxiliaries up so that we can continue to draw into our own cards. Bench another Ultra Necrozma and go ahead and knock out this active Bunnelby. Find another nest ball off of prizes, so not hurting for Pokemon Search in the current hand. That's for sure. Chip does find Parallel City off of his trainer's mail, and he does have the teammates here. So not going to be a problem getting his energy, and he does special charge back in the energy. That is one card I did not want him to find. At this point, I have to imagine his deck consists almost entirely of energy and supporter cards, especially as he T-breaks away another Poltergeist. But we don't have much option other than to just hope that he does still have some dead cards somewhere in his deck and keep spamming N. Go ahead and promote the free retreat auxiliary. At this point, we can go ahead and field blow away his Parallel City, since that is being a bother for us. Then we can Nest Ball out, and it looks like we don't have any more Ultra Necrozma, so we will just from here go ahead and Ultra Ball to thin and grab the second auxiliary. So we've definitely gotten set up well this game. It's just a matter of being behind in that very fast prize race in this matchup. But we stick with our game plan and just play in every single turn from here on out. Doesn't really matter what we draw off of the end since we have the double auxiliary, but we do go ahead and just draw into the double dragon and the stadium anyway. And we will Abyssal Hand. And we can special charge back in the energy, make sure that we can find that in future. Get one more draw in off of the Abyssal Hand. And we do find the Stretcher, which we will use to put back in some Ultra Necrozmas to finish this game out. And at this point, not much left to do other than retreat and Luster of Downfall. And hope that our N to 3 manages to stick, although like I said, I think at this point, Chip has thinned pretty much every card that isn't energy or a supporter that grabs energy out of his deck. Yeah. T breaks away another Poltergeist. And yep, here we see the VS Seeker, which I'd imagine is just going to, yep, grab the teammates. Looking through his deck, I'd imagine he's obviously grabbing an energy here and then just trying to find perhaps some useless card that he can thin out with an Ultra Ball or something, or just trying to figure out what to grab here. And yeah, he's just going to Mad Party. And here we will Ultra Ball for an Ultra Necrozma, attach, and once again we VS Seeker for N. And maybe this time the N to 2 will stick. And at this point, it's mostly just going through the motions. We play the Nest Ball, we Abyssal Hand. Yeah. And here I'm kind of just saying to Chip that, yeah, I don't really expect the N to stick, but you gotta at least give it a try. Go ahead and retreat to the Ultra Necrozma and Luster of Downfall. And another VS Seeker for another teammate. And here Chip manages to Dowsing Machine and thin out anything that could not possibly be an energy card or a VS Seeker. And I believe that does wrap this game up here. Yeah, going to attach and Mad Party. So yeah, bit of an anticlimactic end, but both decks were certainly at their best this game, other than us missing that turn 1 attack, but otherwise, from there, we were both hitting back and forth, so well done to Chip. Very strong games there. I felt like this both showed two very strong single prize decks in the expanded format, both running pretty much close to their best. Obviously, both had a few stumbles here and there, but no deck runs perfectly, so I thought it would be fun to show off this best of 3 and show the diversity in the new expanded meta. Thank you to TrainerChip, and I will see you all next time.